Hello? Can you guys hear me? Is anyone watching? No one? Well, I don't care. Okay. So, it has been a minute since I streamed. I guess this is what college does to a man. Anyway, uh, so I bought Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe like about a month ago, so like basically when it came out, and I wanted to play it, but at the same time I wanted to stream it because I wanted to experience it with multiple people. I didn't really want to just do it by myself because that would be kind of lame. Also, let me know if my volume's off, like my mic or the background music or whatever, because I spent only spent like a minute adjusting it, so it might be too loud or too soft. Uh, so let's see here. Oh, so I think I played a little bit off camera already, and I had to like exit in and out of the game to like test the video settings and all that. And funny story, it asked me to set the time, right? And I like actually manually like set the time each time they asked me because I thought they actually needed the time for the game, right? And then it turns out it doesn't look like they do, or at least I'm pretty sure because like they had this like thing where they told me like, "Oh, thank you for actually taking the time to actually set the time correctly. I don't even know if this is correct or whatever." It was actually kind of funny. So now they just said to me like, "Oh, the next time we asked you for the time, just put any time you want. You deserve it." I'm just like, "Cool, okay." I might have to send that clip, upload that clip later, but it was funny. All right. Anyway, let's get this started. Enter the time. Well, you already know what I'm going to enter. Yeah. 4:20 p.m., your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 4:20 is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 4? Uh, well, right now it's like 8, so I wouldn't say it's too inaccurate, but like, it's still pretty inaccurate. Can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. Also, we have our first viewer, Burning Karma, shout out. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, I'll whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready next time you boot up the game. Alright, so I guess we're also gonna have to be booting in and out of the game. I don't, uh, do I want to expose my desktop wallpaper? Uh, I actually don't know if I want to because it might be art that the artist doesn't not want to be redistributed. So if I end up booting out of the game, I'm gonna have to like disable my desktop so you don't see it. And I respect the artist's wishes. Also, hint, it's Kaede art. You know me. Um, let's see. Is the volume good? I know I already asked that, but I don't think anyone was watching. Alright, let's begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee
The intro
number
lags a little bit,
427.
but that's okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push. how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Right? Seemed to be out of the office. Oh, hold on. There's this YouTube is complaining about something. Ah! You were not meant to see that. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. I hope you do not experience buffering. Okay, I don't think that contained any sensitive information. We're good. I'm going to close this, actually. And sorry for pausing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Are you sure about that? I mean, this office is closed. This office is closed. Everything seems closed. We're gonna have to go. Alright, so this is where I stopped playing off camera. So now the real game begins.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? I'm in a good mood today. Let's just go to the door on the left, like the narrator says. Can I just say how pleasing the narrator's voice is? Like, I just love his voice.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of redacted. Ah, slides. Very important stuff. Broom closet. Ooh, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, let's go upstairs. Ooh, very fancy room. Executive bathroom. Oh, I can walk in here. I cannot see myself in a mirror. I might be a vampire. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Huh. Extreme bathrooms! Nothing here. Is this the boss's office?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Wait, crap, I need to... 2... 8... Wait, no, I went too far down. Okay,
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
No, no, no.
Trying to
I
input
got
anything
it.
on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
There we go.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh my god, it's dark. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I don't like the way that wire was jiggling around. Okay, let's go down. Alright, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
See what's going on. Oh, sparks flying. That is not safe.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ooh, an escape route. I'm just gonna follow the narrator for now. See where it takes me. I'll be a rebel later. But what's this? Push the button. Do I fall off? I cannot fall off. Can I jump? I cannot jump. Well, nothing else.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427, that's mine! Yo! Wait, let me see that. Oh yeah, that's my office, alright. But god damn, that's a lot of cameras. Anything else here? Papers. Employee observation protocol. Alright, let's see what's over here. Let's press this button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, there it is.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Yeah,
It was unthinkable.
never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Now where do I go? Oh, over here.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
And how exactly do I do that? 5? Okay, that's for crouching. 3? What am I supposed to do? Mind control status offline. Well, I mean, it's already offline, so I mean, I don't see the issue. 1, 2... Maybe I just have to press the buttons in order. 3. And that was 5. Or is 4? Where is button number 4? Button number 4? Hello? Is it just here somewhere and I'm just being dumb? Maybe there is no number 4 and you just have to press. Wait. No, it's not it. That guy. That did not do anything. Oh, wait. I don't think you have to even do anything here. Oh, wait. Oh. I think maybe the button's up there, but I can't reach it. Okay. Well, it's already offline. And I think we had to go in here. And I was just being an idiot looking for stuff that I'm not supposed to do yet.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Let's turn this thing. Let's shut this thing down.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Hey, we did it! We beat the game! Alright guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm joking. We know this is not the only ending we can achieve.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You know what? I'm going downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh, wait, you're
Why
right.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
You're right.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Wait, whoa,
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Wait,
And at
wait a
last,
second.
he came to the conclusion that had been on the
Wait.
tip of his tongue.
Wait.
He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
Whoa, wait a second.
His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Whoa.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
I
want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Damn, this guy has a wife.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Damn, Stanley's
My
poor.
life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
God damn it.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Woman?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day.
Well, he's
very
called ambulance
important
man.
people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
Wow, thanks for
And
the
then
help,
she
bro.
turned and ran.
Yeah, run. Don't help the poor old man on the sidewalk. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? I'm going on the right. You can't
This
stop.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yeah, that's not my
Really
problem.
worth it.
Coworkers vanished. Rip bozo.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Dude, I've only stayed in here
It's
for like 30
possible
seconds.
that this is
Chill
why
out.
everyone left.
I just gotta relax for a bit, you know? I gotta be thinking about this
Stanley sat
situation.
around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Yeah, how do you like that, narrator? How do you like that? Okay, I don't think there's any more dialogue. I'm going back. I'm going now. Wait, psych?
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
You want fine.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nah. We're going down.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Yo,
from
guys,
here,
it's a ladder.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Alright, let's go. Oh. Alright, let's go down here. Here. Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick,
What?
Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh. Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Wait, no!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What if we did the exact same
Stanley decided
thing?
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What if we did the exact same thing?
When Stanley...
Oh.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Whoa.
Let's find
We can
the
go through
story.
this door? And this? Yo, they renovated the back rooms. What the heck?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see it. Let's see if your story is...
Okay,
oh,
yep, it's
my...
worse.
What? There's no
I might be
doors.
remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
You're just a random... What?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Whoa, this is different. Oh, whoa,
Now this...
whoa.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
I'm about to get
I
jumped
can't
by a
quite
ghost.
recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yo, let's go! We win!
I know you
Let's
put in a
go!
lot of hard work, and it
Let's
really
go!
paid off. So, good job.
Hey, and it's...
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Nah, what do you
Some
mean? What do you
people
mean?
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I think
Okay?
I think it was a pretty
I'm
fair
getting
win.
weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Whoa,
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Alright, I'll just follow it.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Got it. What time is it? It's 11:22. Wait, no, it's... Oh, yeah, it is. Alright, let's go.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No music? No.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Alright, let's try that.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
All right.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door
so much fun.
lead us to where we're going?
So much fun.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Let's go. What?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all...
Oh, wait, narrator restarts the game. Oh, wait. Guess our
So
previous
now,
oh
according to the
shit.
schedule, I
Let's play this
restart
later,
again.
so
Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
Finally,
Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
After a long time,
wall.
Stanley. Oh, God! I die
you
after
consulted
this.
me.
After all this.
Why don't I get to decide?
Oh no.
Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree?
Wait a second.
I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or
Says
the journey.
narrator
Though they're
restarts the
always
game.
saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Whoa, 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 what? What did you just do? What did you do, narrator? Oh, crap. Well, time to go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? That right door does cause a lot of trouble. Let's just go to the door on the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing! He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Isn't there supposed to be a part where I'm not supposed to progress? I feel like I'm progressing a lot right now.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You know what? No, I'm gonna get out of here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Ooh, sounds fun. Let's keep going.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Goodbye, world.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected
that is
that
a...
his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Wait, that's
Stanley
a press.
can't see the bigger picture.
Oh,
He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
What
like
kind of machine
plucking
is
the
this? Why
eyeballs
would you
from
have a
a
machine
blind
like
man.
this?
And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his
Well,
brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
goodbye.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I think I am very much alive right now. Or maybe I'm a ghost. I don't know.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh wow, the credits. The people that made this cool game. Based on the work of the Stanley Parable 2013 team. Cool. Office computers. Oh, we can turn them on? Oops. Well. Filing cabinets. Corridor. Office layout. Oh, so this is where I start. And that's where, okay. Those are the windows. Door. No door. Alright, and this. This is where it all begins. The two doors. So this is like a museum. I'm assuming there's no way of getting out of here. Unused stuff. What is the difference between a duck? Cool. Alright, this is his office. I guess it went through multiple revisions. November 2011. March 2012. February 2013. I'm saying cool a lot. But it is. I don't know what this is. Huh. Wait, what if they're playing four-dimensional chess and this is actually what we're supposed to do? We'll just have to wait and see. Vent? You can vent? Like in the hit game? What was it called again? I forgot. The simple version. I guess that makes sense. What's down here? Just in time to see my death? Oh wait, I don't know how long ago that message was, but yep, I was about to die. But then I didn't? I still feel like I'm alive. Oh, that is a very spooky room. I don't want to go in there. You know what, let's just go into this. What?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Oh. Are we gonna have to turn it off? I think we have to turn it off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
I don't want to quit the game.
Stop now and
I have to
for
keep
your
streaming.
only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh, well, I died. Oh well.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
That is different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm not a free thinker.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Yeah, the broom closet, my favorite room. We got the wrench, we got the tape, we got the more wrenches, we got, what even is that? We got the broom, obviously, because this is a broom closet. We got the, I don't know what's up there, I can't jump. This is a great room. I wonder how long I'm able to stay in here. Like, I'm actually curious how long you can stay in here. I might have to try this on my own time because I don't think it would be very exciting for my viewers to be just staring at this all day. So I'm gonna go out. Oh, there you go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I'm going downstairs. You can't make me go upstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered,
I think I'm gonna be getting a weird ending. The crazy ending, that one.
someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Okay, now you're just making me scared. If I walk like this.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I'm going on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Let's go in here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of the cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000. Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting.
What?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually
didn't mean to do
chose
that.
incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Okay.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
I don't need to know about this. I know how to make choices. Come on. Who do you think I am? I'm restarting. What? Wait. This is not...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm not used to this area.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, no, you keep
This
antagonizing
was
me.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
just
well.
not gonna follow your
Perhaps he
rules.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge
Screw
first,
you.
just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
But
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
you know what? Maybe I'll call my wife this time.
Look, Stanley,
I
I
think
think
you're
perhaps
right
we've
about
gotten
that.
off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
You should have
all
just
this
sat there and
time.
see what happens.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Like
someone you've
like
forgotten about.
sat and watched a video,
Please,
or like
stop trying
sat
to
in the
make
broom
every
closet.
decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
You know what? I'll pick it up. Oh, the video. I'll try that. But I don't know if I'm
Stanley,
gonna...
is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What?
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
what?
Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Come on,
Who'd
you-
want to commit
wait,
their life
did-
to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Wow.
I'm trying to get you
Low
to
blow
see
narrator.
something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No. I'm not.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Let me out! Damn it.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named
Death?
Stanley.
No, I'm not pressing it. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna scroll through Reddit on my phone and not press a single key on my keyboard. I'm not doing it. That's it.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his
Who
existence.
puts a couch on the... like, on the doorway? Who does that? No one does that.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Let's watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while
Where'd
at
TV
work,
go?
he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys.
So he went further.
Boys.
He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought
What
that
if we
his
just restarted?
decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
This is quite riveting.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room. with
Why'd you fill
monitors
my
and
kitchen
mind
with
controls.
filing cabinets? I'm
Down
trying to
another
cook.
was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called
Game with a
it
baby?
the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer.
What?
How could there
My wife
possibly
just
be?
turned into a
In
desk.
reality, all he's
What the
doing is
heck?
pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
What have they done to you?
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
Who's moving my
But he won't
desk
listen to me.
into my
He
room?
won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
You know what? I'm gonna fuck with him and not press the button like he's telling me to. What time is it? Yes, yes. Clock. Okay, you know what, narrator? I've given you time. I've given you time to show you that I am capable of following directions, but since you seem to be not doing anything about that, I'm gonna press it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die. Whoa,
And
whoa,
I
whoa.
tried
Wait,
again,
yo, this
and
is going
Stanley
too
pushed
far.
a button.
What the?
And I tried. The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Ooh, I want to be never alone ever again. What? Ooh, new content. The people near can
new
wait.
content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello,
What's this?
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, this is an ultra deluxe thing.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Consoles, too.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Same.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's go. New content. New content. New content. New content. New content. New content. New content.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I need the content.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
You jump. I'm jumping. I'm jumping. Yo, Shy to Bush, let's go. I did it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Imagine that's all they added. They actually added, and it just bamboozled us all.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Whoa, what is down there? Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this?
Wait, I need to check. There's no way. What? There it is. Well, gonna be back into the game.
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
I
built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Why do I keep ending up at a different place every time? This is so weird. And it just shows a picture of the old place to add insult to injury.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Alright guys, I'm gonna vent like that hit game I keep forgetting the name of.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
That sounds interesting. Wow, it is lagging my computer. Whoa, what is
I call
this?
it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
That sounds
experiences
lovely.
like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Stanley Parable. Ah, 2013. Good times. What did I do in 2013? What grade was I in? Well, I was 11 years old during 2013. So I think it was in 5th grade. Wow, I was in 5th grade when the Stanley Parable came out. And I only knew about it, like, I feel like a couple years ago. And I wanted to play it, but, like, I didn't want to, like, you know, I didn't want to just pirate it, because, like, I wanted to support the indie game developers. Now, if it was a Nintendo game, for legal reasons, I'm not going to answer that question. Demonstration. Oh, achievement. It is impossible to get this achievement. Damn. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years? Oh my god. That is a long time. I'm literally going to graduate from college. Okay, whatever. So that's what they meant by the go outside achievement on a website. Oh, that's the one ending I got. The crazy guy ending. What's over here?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now,
they
it's
reference
nothing.
Persona in the Stanley
It's no
Parable.
games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Oh, a door opened. Now where do we go? Over here. Memory zone maintenance. Assuming I can't go in there yet. Or maybe I just can't go in there at all. Person of the year. Redacted.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Serious room. I want to get into serious room. How do I get into serious room? Guess I can't go into serious room yet.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Oh, I can go in here.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh. You don't know this place?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I wonder if this part is different across consoles, because like, I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for Steam to appear like on a console, right? So like, what if they changed it like on the Switch and Xbox and PS5 version? Something to think about. I might have to watch a walkthrough later. I mean, the game just came out, so there's probably new endings that people are discovering as we speak. Someone's probably already found this one. But, oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
Yeah, come on,
I suppose I could
Buckaroo, yeah.
write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Wow, where do I go from here? Does he just keep going? Is there an opening there? Nope. Gotta go down here. It's an oh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Nice.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence,
I
then by
like you,
goodness,
narrator.
that's what they're going to
I like
get.
your voice.
Well, don't sit around
Come
waiting
on.
for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say,
the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably,
Oh,
we
he
all
says-
until the
oh my
end of
gosh.
time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made in fact make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone?
Yeah,
it
I
has
agree.
a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the
Cookie
skip
9 is
button.
just being too picky.
Although I have to imagine that after
Come on,
seeing
you
this
need
exciting
skip
new
button for this
technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial, something along the lines of, "This game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity
Well.
rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra-Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage
after
of
the
one
stream,
of the most beloved video game
send a
properties
review
of
on
all
Steam
time.
with this exact
The additions
wording.
and changes made to this expansion will surely... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say
Wait, I can't
goodbye
get
to
out.
it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any
This
kind
is
of
not
door
working.
as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step
This is not
away
working.
for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button.
All right,
Just
I won't.
wait here for me, and don't press the skip button.
All right, I won't.
Got
I
it?
won't. Yep.
Yes,
yep.
good. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back too. I need to pee. Alright, I'm back. Did you make a door yet? Narrator? Did you make a door? Narrator? No? No door? How long do I have to wait? Okay, I guess in the meantime I'll just get some food. Yeah, I'm back once more. Any door? Okay, narrator, surely it does not take this long to find a door. I'm just gonna eat my ice cream. You know, this is getting kind of boring for my zero concurrent viewers, so I'm gonna skip. I'm sorry, narrator. You're taking too long.
Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button. and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll
what
be
else am I
leaving.
supposed to do?
Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter
now
so
you're just
much to me?
repeating
I've never
yourself.
even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're
Whoa,
back.
power me now.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn
Cookie
my
Nine
story to the
single-handedly,
ground.
like,
One
created an
single
entirely
thing I
new
need,
path
and
for
God,
gaming.
I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Wow, that press it. Hold on, hold on. I'm doing Dokkan right now. Alright, I mean, there's not really much else we can do. Was this plant always here? Oh, it rotted. Whoops. Oh my god, it's dark. What's behind here? Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta go like all the way. There's like ambient lighting here. And a ladder. What, now it's just completely dark.
Hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
A
Have you
year?
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
Whoops.
To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley.
For a year.
Days,
My bad, narrator.
months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo
But why you
the
wait
past.
for that long?
And when that feeling had begun to subside, what
Oh,
took
do not
its
press it.
place
I already
is what I
pressed
can
it,
only
Gingy.
describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a
What am I
particular
supposed to do?
outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Need the skip button will be used just because there's an option doesn't mean you have to choose it. Look, man, if there's anyone to blame, it's Cookie 9. Blame Cookie 9 for this mess. He wanted the skip button so badly, and look where that's gotten us. Shouldn't have left that negative Steam review. I wouldn't be in this room, and narrator wouldn't have to suffer through all of this. But what else can I do? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to press it. He's probably not even there. He's probably dead. Narrator? Hello? Narrator? Narrator. Narrator. I think he's dead. Well, F in the chat for narrator. I mean, What else am I supposed... He's probably just, like, laying dead on his chair now. Now a smoke alarm went off. What the hell? There's no fire here. Now narrator's probably, like, a skeleton.
But they didn't understand the game was
Oh, wait, he's
never
alive?
meant to be funny.
He's
It was
alive?
meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out. Contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized, at last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others.
Did our water drop? Where is that coming from?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Yo, that's the title of my stream.
End is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh my god, it's all destroyed. What the heck? Who destroyed this? Oh. 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 Well, that's not good. Oh. Light. 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 Oh my god. How do I get out? Can I walk on this? What? Please. I need to get out. I need to get out. I need to get out! Please. Please. I just need to walk up. It's just damn skip button again. What? I skipped enough time for it to grow life in here? What even are these plants? Dude, at this rate, I'm gonna be eaten by something. Some animal's gonna come down here and eat me alive. Oh. All the plants just died. Fantastic. I do not like the sound of that. I'm just skipping right now. That sound is even worse. Oh, the skip button fell. But wait. Hold on. The skip button will not work anymore? It doesn't work anymore. How long have I been stuck here? Enough to be in a goddamn desert. Wasn't I supposed to be in like at his memory zone or whatever? Where am I supposed to go? Oh my god, what? Dude, what is this supposed to be? Dune? I'm just gonna have to keep walking. Oh. Was that it? What? That was it? That was it. That was the whole ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
Whoa.
he couldn't find a
I'm on the
trace of his
desk.
co-workers.
Oh.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Well, only one thing to do. Do that thing again and press yes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
no
meeting
clip.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Let's say yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Alright, try me.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Well, how long have I been streaming? It's almost 10:30. To be honest, might have to call it here. First impressions of the game. Well, not really first impressions because I've saw a walkthrough before, but well, guitar. Anyway, uh, I really like this game. Uh, I feel like it's gonna have a lot of replay value simply because of the sheer amount of endings it's gonna have, and like the amount of Easter eggs and stuff hidden in the game. I imagine, like, since this game is like really expansive, I imagine like not everything has been found yet, unless like people are like cooperating and like trying to find absolutely everything this game has to offer. But I doubt it. I think there's still some things yet to be found. But probably all the obvious things have already been found. So what I do at my stream is probably not gonna have anything new. But I'm still having fun. Like the new content thing. That was really clever. But this stream has gone on for pretty long, so I'm gonna have to end it here. Uh, for the entirety of June, I'm gonna be having summer classes, so I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot of time to stream. Uh, but if I have time, I'll maybe stream more of this game, or maybe something else like Mario Kart again. You guys let me know what you want to see me stream. But that'll be it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.